My entitled sister thought she could rake in cash breeding pugs. And she let her kids wallow in absolute squalor because of her dog hoarding obsession. Edit. I'm already catching flack for this post. Trust me, I get it. I don't blame anyone for piling on. I was a gutless wreck back then. I wanted to call CPS or some equivalent, but every time I even hinted at it, the family tore me apart. So I ended up stuck helping with the dogs and kids instead. My sister's growing venom just made it all worse. By the time I finally stepped up, it was after she got evicted. I'm not begging anyone to call me a saint here. I was a coward. But everything I'm spilling is 100% real. For years, my sister was convinced she'd strike at rich breeding pugs. She had this breeding pair she named after sibling characters. Ironic, right? The first time the female got knocked up, I had to play midwife. That pug popped out like 10 puppies. Months of dealing with a reeking puppy pen followed, with my nephews and me stuck tending to them while she was off doing whatever. She found homes for all but one. That last one? She wouldn't sell him because he was too cute. I saw it coming from a mile away. She swore she wouldn't keep him, but then she did. To dodge looking like she just couldn't let go. She claimed she was gifting him to her sons as their dog. Total nonsense, and we all knew it. That third pug was a terror. The trio turned into a chaotic gang of troublemakers. They peed on the floor so much they rusted out the vents. My nephews didn't lift a finger for that third pug like she said they would. Shocker. She'd threatened to ditch him. Then bawl when we called her bluff because he's too cute. After 2 years of that mess, she finally caved and gave him away. Couldn't sell him like the others since he was grown and fixed. Somehow the mama pug didn't get pregnant again until my sister got the boot from the family property. Small mercies, I guess. I ended up babysitting those pugs as much as my nephews when she wasn't around. The papa pug wasn't awful, but the mama? A living nightmare. That beast developed some warped obsession with crapping exclusively on my sister's bed. She'd come home to, I'm not kidding, 9 steaming piles from that one pug on her sheets. I'd watch her bolt into the bedroom after being outside, leap onto the bed, give you this smug, I don't give a damn stare, and unload wherever she pleased, usually right there. She got disciplined for it over and over, but she didn't care. We had to cage her and keep the bedroom sealed shut. Even then, she'd sneak in if you slipped up. Edit. Skip this and the next part if you're not in the mood for dog drama. Eventually, I'd had enough of her garbage. One day, I decided she wasn't stepping foot inside until she did her business. She hated it, especially since it was cold and the ground was soggy. I'd watch her sniff around, fake like she was about to go, then whine and shuffle off. She pulled that stunt a few times, then glanced at my sister's trailer with this gleeful look, like, oh, I'm gonna unload there, and took off running. I yanked her back and made her stay put. She glared at me like I'd ruined her day and plopped down to sulk. I told her I could wait forever, and she finally got bored enough to sniff around again. She tried bolting for the trailer twice more. After 45 minutes, she couldn't hold it and finally went. I knew she wasn't done, so I kept her out there until she went again. The trudge back was like a defeat parade for her. She knew she'd lost. I stuck to that routine until she finally quit targeting the bed. Then my sister's boyfriend at the time dragged home a free puppy. Cute little thing, until it grew into a hulking beast bigger than my Akbash. That monster peed and crapped everywhere, especially by my middle nephew's bed. Tethered outside, he'd bark nonstop. On migraine days, I wanted to lose it. He kept everyone awake, especially my dad. Strong as hell, he snapped his chain tether repeatedly. Rope? He'd chew it to shreds. He trashed everything. My sister's brand new fifth-wheel trailer got annihilated worse than the pugs ever managed. He shredded my nephew's clothes, shoes, toys, anything he could chomp. I had to patch my nephew's shelves with duct tape. We told her over and over to ditch that dog, even gave ultimatums. She wouldn't budge. Finally, she sold him to someone with the same breed who wanted a pair, then acted like we'd ruined her life. Soon after, my ex-BIL yanked his kids out of there and wouldn't bring them back. Not long after, she got evicted by January. When she got the eviction notice from the family property in 2023, she shacked up with her last friend and started breeding pugs again. Predictably, she kept the cutest one. Then her friend kicked her out and she moved in with a new boyfriend, also her drug dealer. That abusive jerk dumped her in a busted RV on the roadside with a barely running car. She'd torched 98% of her bridges by then, entitled narcissist that she is. She crashed with her boyfriend's sister for 2 days, let her pugs pee and crap all over the bedroom floor, and didn't lift a finger to clean it. I had to scrub it up when I came to get her and her junk. Then I spent a day trailing her around with her stuff in my truck while she begged people to take her in. Most wouldn't even respond. I was the only one walking her damn dogs. She just sat in her car scrolling her phone. Then she tried forcing me to take the dogs home. I couldn't. Our parents are my landlords and they said no. She flipped out, screaming that her dogs were part of her stuff. Since they let me haul her crap in my truck, I still refused and she went ballistic. She spent the night in a junk-filled car with 3 pugs. No food for them. I had to buy some because she was flat broke. Next day, our mom got her a motel room, and she acted like it was an insult. Then she crawled back to her abusive boyfriend. I dumped her stuff in his yard and bailed. She finally surrendered the mama and papa pugs to a rescue but kept the puppy. I told her she had to ditch all the dogs. She couldn't handle them homeless. She said she'd consider giving up the parents but wouldn't part with the puppy. I warned her raising a pup on the streets would wreck it. She rambled about dogs being great for homeless mental health and how she needed him. She'd been in touch with a pug rescue but ghosted them. I tracked them down and called. They were freaking out about the pug's safety, calling me back with updates. Eventually, they said she surrendered the parents, and they paid her $100 each. No clue if that's standard or if she squeezed them since they were purebreds and a breeding pair. They said both were super adoptable. Probably got homes fast, maybe even together. She also had a tabby cat she couldn't handle and begged me to take. I did, and I'm not giving him back. He's thriving here, he was raised here. When I brought him home, he started purring like crazy the second we hit the driveway. Couldn't even see it from his carrier, just smelled it. I let him out, and he bolted around the yard like, "I'm back." She dragged him to a drug den with her abusive boyfriend before, and she'd do it again if I let her. I got him chipped and registered under my name to block her. She's an animal hoarder, keeps dogs and cats, lets their mess pile up, and grabs more if she's got cash or space. 20 years ago, she had 20 cats in an old trailer, letting them pee and crap everywhere. I had to clean it up for her repeatedly because she wouldn't. She'd sob that they were her babies when confronted. You don't know cleaning cat mess until you've shoveled it. It was like wet clay, layered on more mess. Recently, she showed up demanding her cat back. I kicked her off the property. She threatened to snitch, but hasn't. Probably because we know she's on meth and crack and doesn't want cops poking around. When she wasn't looking, I saw the cat bolt from her and hide under my house. He's usually friendly with everyone, but then he trailed me, meowing like crazy. He did not want her. Happy New Year, everyone. To kick off 2025, I want to share a wild story about a sleepover with my cousin I no longer speak to. It's a long, ridiculous tale that I can laugh about now, but back then, it was pure chaos. This happened in 2021, after the pandemic had mostly wound down in my area. My little cousin, let's call her EC, short for entitled cousin, and I were super close. We talked almost every day during the lockdown. She was bummed about missing her 2020 birthday party, and I got it. I turned 13 that year and didn't get my big family bash either. So, in 2021, her mom, let's call her EM, short for entitled mom, decided to throw EC a huge birthday sleepover. EC's an only child biologically, but EM did an adult adoption for EC's older sisters, who she fostered when they were 12. Those sisters were in their late 20s to mid-30s by then, so EC was raised as the spoiled baby of the family, even if she's legally the youngest. Day 1 of chaos. I showed up late because my mom and I argued over a swimsuit. It's not a big deal, but for context, she insisted it needed washing when it was fine. Our car, an electric one, nearly ran out of juice on the way because EM and EC live far. We had to charge it for 45 minutes at a station 25 minutes from their place. By the time I arrived at 8 p.m., everyone else had been there since 5 p.m. They all lived nearby. EC's sister walked me in. She's got 3 older sisters, one in the military, one in college, and the oldest was pregnant again. They don't matter much here, just popping in occasionally. EC was annoyed I was late, which I got, but she chilled after I explained. My mom left, and EC handed out goodie bags. There were 4 other girls, and I was the oldest. EC was turning 12. Her friends were 12 to 13. Red flag number 1. None of EC's actual friends showed up. These girls were daughters of EM's friends, who'd met EC maybe 4 times. They were nice to her but gravitated toward me instead. Something was off with EC already, and I didn't know why. EC dragged us to the bathroom for face masks. Everyone was cool with it until she opened her mouth. She grabbed her face wash and told one girl, "You need this, your face looks wrecked." I called her out for being rude. EM overheard and said nothing. The girl refused because she breaks out easily and went to grab her own stuff. Then EC turned on me. "You need it too. You're starting to look like a hag with all those zits." EM finally stepped in and made her apologize. I was dealing with a medical thing, 2 months of non-stop periods causing bad acne. EC kept going, insulting everyone's looks after slapping on their masks. We gritted our teeth through it. Later, she made a mug cake and forced me to eat it, which was irritating. We crashed watching the live-action Lion King. Day 2 of madness. We were prepping for a water park. 100 degrees Fahrenheit weather. Perfect for it. Breakfast was a blur, but I remember orange juice on the table. EC demanded it. Give it to me now. I'm the birthday girl. I get whatever I want. Em told her to knock it off and we handed it over to shut her up. We got dressed, looking cute for the water park, but EC took forever in the bathroom. When she emerged, she trashed our outfits, bragging about changing into her swimsuit later. We assumed she was already wearing it under her clothes, so we were ticked. At the water park, none of our cousins showed up, hers or mine, from both sides of her family. Red flag number 2. We waited for the gates to open, avoiding the massive lines that formed later. Bored, we started playing Karens outside, inspired by our /entitled parents and Reddit vids. EC insisted on being the only Karen, forcing us to pick names like Carol or Betty. She hated how we played and stormed off to hang with her niece. We kept going. Me and another girl had phones but didn't want to drain them. When the gates opened, EC acted like nothing happened. We hit the pool while EM chilled with her granddaughter. EC started trashing her mom for being stingy, not bringing enough cash for food, and packing sandwiches. Water park food was insane. A tiny pizza slice was $5. Then she dragged us to the only big water slide. In line, she whined nonstop. One girl was ahead of her, and when EC realized she wouldn't go first, she shoved her on wet, narrow stairs. It's my birthday. I do what I want. I'm first. We yelled at her not to push. Someone could have gotten hurt. She rolled her eyes and slid down. We let it slide barely. In another pool, small, bad idea, we raced. I was winning. Long limbs and workouts paid off. But EC grabbed my leg, scratched me, and then bit me when I touched the wall first. I yelled, "You bit me. What the heck?" She laughed, denying it, but I showed the bite mark and scratches. Everyone stared at her like, "Really?" She shrugged. "Sorry, but you should have let me win. It's my birthday." We didn't snitch to EM and moved on, weirded out. She made us do more laps, but my leg hurt, so I sat out until she dragged us to the big pool. That pool used to have a blow-up parkour set, but post-pandemic it was gone. I'm a weak swimmer with asthma, so I stayed in the shallow end. The drop from 4 feet to 12 foot freaked me out. Issy got mad I wouldn't go deeper and pushed me into the deep end. I panicked, flailing, and the girls freaked too since I'd warned them I couldn't swim well. EC snapped, "Just swim." A random 14 or 15-year-old girl pulled me to the 4-foot area, saving me. Everyone chewed EC out for being reckless, but we didn't tell EM. Dumb move. I tried the smallest diving board, fun, but I struggled to swim back. EC demanded a breath-holding contest. After nearly drowning earlier and the diving board, I was wiped. I lasted 20 seconds underwater, then moved to the steps to watch. EC won and accused me of biting her underwater, showing faint scratches as proof. The girl who saved me called her out. "That's impossible. OP was on the stairs, nowhere near you." EC started crying, claiming I ruined her birthday. M stormed over, yelling, "What did you do to her?" We all explained at once, even the random girl backing me up. M dragged sobbing EC away, who wailed about her worst birthday ever and wanting us gone. EM wouldn't let us eat the sandwiches, so we bought food with our own cash. The random girl joined us, apologizing for her mom and bratty sister. I clarified EM's my mom's cousin, not my mom, and EC's my cousin. Bratty before, but never this bad. The other girls spilled tea. They never liked EC, only came because their parents forced them. One secretly texted her mom to get picked up from EM's later. I didn't tell my parents, moving stress and all, but I still wanted those nothing bundt cupcakes we'd ordered. M cornered me again, demanding I apologize to EC when she woke up. I was over it. Back at the house, EC's pregnant sister kept glaring at us. We bonded over how awful EC was, hyped for cupcakes. But the car situation was a mess. EC took the fun ride with her sister and the girls, leaving me with EM. "No room for you," she smirked, ignoring their pleas to switch. M lectured me the whole ride. "You're the oldest, you shouldn't pick on her. You ruined her day, why?" I recounted everything. Her response, "Tell me next time. Don't let it build up and wreck her birthday." We grabbed the cupcakes. She wouldn't let me help carry them. Before we went inside, she grabbed me. "Be nice to EC, no matter what. Tell me if she acts up." We showered while painters came for a group activity. I painted a night forest with starry splatters. Everyone loved it and copied me. EC called it ugly. I complimented her fluffy trees. She snapped. Mine's better than your garbage. I got petty in Minecraft later, killing her pet axolotl in creative mode. She screamed, nearly cried, and EM glared. I respawned it until the server crashed. She shrieked, I hate you. You're the worst cousin. Didn't care. She gave me gray slime, ugliest color, because I don't deserve pretty. Whatever. At dinner, she fought over watching High School Musical, the series instead of Monsters University. We wanted movies, not shows, and compromised on the High School Musical films. She threw a fit, so EM made us watch her show first. Then she ignored it for Roblox. When our turn came, she grabbed our goodie bag popcorn to share. My bag finished first, and she tossed it at me, burning hot with butter. It scorched my hand. First degree, thumb nearly second degree. I screamed. The girls rushed over EM too. Issy glared as I iced it. EM forced a fake apology from her, nothing else. Day 3, escape. The girls bolted when their mom arrived. I was stuck until my mom finished moving stuff. Earlier, EC swapped my nice black choker for a rusty orange, one that broke within a month. EM told my mom I was mean to EC. I explained most of it to my parents, skipped the burn to avoid family drama. Now I don't talk to EC, nor does she to me. Our Gen Z cousins trash her and EM constantly, and everyone avoids them. Sorry, no photos. This channel doesn't allow them.